Hello friends, in this video I will be covering the topics classes and objects. So what is class? So a class is a blueprint from which objects can be created. So you can think like what is the blueprint for anything. So you can create the class for any entity. Means entity can be chair. You can ask the chair the it is a rotatable chair or not rotatable chair. You can ask the entity can be house, entity can be vehicle, entity can be person. If we take an example of vehicle, you can ask that uh, how many wheels do you have, what is the maximum speed of this vehicle. If we think about the entity for the person, we can ask the age, full name, if the person can dance or not. So that can be it can be an entity. So we can create the class for any entity, and it will acts like a blueprint. And for that class you can create the objects. What is an object? Object is just an instance of class. So we will see with an practical example that how we can define a class. Just open the terminal, hit irb, and this is the syntax of defining any class. I am just defining my class. So this is a way of defining any class. That's it. You can define class vehicle. Okay. And how can you instantiate this? Object type vehicle dot new. This is a way of instantiating of any class. It's as simple as that. So this is an object id of this object. Okay. So this is a way of defining a class and instantiating of that class. You can also create multiple methods inside this. For example, I have created a class vehicle. I have created number of wheels, maximum speed. So this is the whole class I have defined here. You can just instantiate that vehicle object. That is an object for this vehicle. I have created another object, so that object id will be different from this object id. Okay. Now I am calling this method that object dot method name. It's an instance method. We can call like this. So it will return it will return number of wheels. We have called this method. It prints it's a four-wheeler. It's a four. We can call this method as well. What is the maximum speed we have? So that's a simple way of defining a class and calling this its method. uh, one more thing I want to highlight here. Everything is on object. I have already told you. You can think like this: class dot new. So my class is the object of class. So how can I say that? You can ask this: my class dot what is your class? It will say I have this class. So it is also an object of this class. Okay. Now we will talk about the hierarchy. So what is the hierarchy? So suppose if I have created my class, okay, then my class I can ask what is what is the super class. My class super class. So it's an object, and if I ask this what is your super class, it will say the basic object super class. So the basic object is the topmost class. Then we have the object. Then we define our my class. So it's a hierarchy like this. If you think like basic object, it will be the top class, then object, then my class. Okay. And if you ask that what is the super class of this, it will say nil. What is the top class of basic object? It will say nil, because we do not have above. Basic object is the topmost. We do not have above anything. Okay. So it's an hierarchy like this: my class, object, and then basic object. Thank you. That's it for this video.